is quite the destination for mining throughout the world. It's in the top 10 of the world, and certainly, the top 3 of Latin America. We started Pucara in 2013. That's when we purchased it from Esperanza. We chose Ayacucho for political reasons and geology that had not, as of yet, received a lot of exploration activity. It was still fairly an immature area, we say, not receiving a lot of exploration activity. But it had all the right characteristics, meaning it had gold mines in production, very low profile from Peruvian miners. It wasn't northern Peru and it wasn't southern Peru where there was a lot of activity.
After 16 years of working at Mulatos, Steve asked me to take a look at the Pucara properties and projects, and I went there completely with an open mind, and I was astounded by what I saw on huge hydrothermal systems that had been undrilled. You would not find anything like that left in the US or Mexico that had not been drilled extensively. I couldn't believe that they had not been basically touched by modern exploration methods. Pucara had a great land position, and my first reaction is, wow, this is just like Mulatos at the start. I was at Mulatos from some of the first exploration through 10 years of production, and I looked at that and I thought, this is a chance to do it all over again.
We shared Ken Ballaweg's reports with the team at Sandstorm, which included Dave Lowell, and it really piqued his interest. And these reports and conversations and presentations precipitated a field visit.
I was first introduced to the Pucara story back in 2017. It was really purely approached by Keith Laskowski out of our office here. He was telling me about this private company. He'd known the CEO, Steve Zucker, for some time, and he had some properties, and they're trying to figure out how to get some more money to get some work done on them. The project appeared as to be a very good high sulfidation epithermal target, in an area that had very little work. I sent out a couple of people to take a look at it. In fact, one of our board members, Mary Little, Sandstorm, and then also David Lowell. I think this was a big important turning point as well too, because not only did we have both Keith and Ken's really valuable opinion on what was happening here, but we really had both Mary Little and Dave Lowell, two of sort of the best geologists in the industry today. And they both gave us a big thumbs up on this project as well too, with both of them becoming investors, especially David Lowell, who was, of course, has a great history of discovering big gold projects in Peru.
With Dave's approval, liking our program, even though it was very early stage, grassroots, he made some very good suggestions for us. Because the property had never been drilled. Prospects like this, virgin, never been tested with all the characteristics of a gold deposit being, the advanced argillic alteration, the massive silica, the buggy silica, granular silica that's at the surface. And we were able to demonstrate that to Dave Lowell and Mary Little on the surface, which then generated the excitement with the guys at Sandstorm and around there.
Kim Ballaweg's involvement in the project is really important and really brings a lot of credibility. He really is one of those high sulfidation experts. He has done it before, where he's taken projects that existed and had been prospects, but really turned them into something special and something really big.
I've probably had 20 years experience with high sulfidation deposits, primarily in Mexico, and their largest high sulfidation district and deposit, most productive. High sulfidation deposits, because of the way they form, tend to be large, multi-million ounce deposits. They're usually very economic. I think some of the operating costs at Yanacocha and Pierina were down in the close to $100 or less per ounce production costs. Most of if not all, of the high sulfidation deposits in Peru, and probably extending into Chile, are hosted within Miocene age volcanic rocks in a northwest southeast trending belt I call the Andean trend, essentially the modern Andes. This portion of the trend we're calling the Ayacucho trend. Its primary trend is northwest southeast. It contains a number of either gold, silver deposits, high sulfidation, or low sulfidation deposits, and off to the margins a number of porphyry copper deposits. So it is the primary mineralized trend of Peru. Within that trend, we see some subsidiary trends, and probably the trend I'm most excited about is a north-south trend called the Apumayo trend, named for the Apumayo mine, which is located just 14 kilometers south of Lourdes property. So big deposits commonly form where regional trends, such as this Andean trend, northwest-southeast, and the Apumayo trend, north-south, intersect. Additionally, we have a northeast trend that we've well documented by the alteration distribution at Lourdes. So there seems to be a three-way structural intersection that has controlled the formation of the intensely altered areas at Lourdes.
In 2019, we made the decision it was time to go public. The permitting was looking good in Peru for us to advance Lourdes and drill it. We raised the $8.5 million. Use of proceeds are going to be, the bulk of that's going to go to the Lourdes project. We're also working on some other projects, Pucara, where we've started permitting on that. And so that'll take us to the end of the year, roughly, when the rainy season starts.
Rarely do you get the opportunity these days to find large-scale alteration zones like this at surface that are associated both with that buggy silica, granular silica, and these big alteration zones. So Peru obviously has seen some of the biggest, not just gold, but copper discoveries in the world over the last 30 or 40 years. We hope that both Lourdes and Pucara really do make it into that realm of giant Peruvian ore deposits.